Today at Speedy's Garage we're going to upgrade the dynamic belt tensioner on Project Orange Crush. We're going to use a Dayco part number 89377. The stock belt tensioner seems to have some weaknesses. I've had several friends break them, especially with the Supercharger installed. I've heard of one guy breaking his on a stock car though. The Dayco unit has a much more robust spring system. You can see there, and I'll show you the stock one when I get it off here in a second. It's really simple to take it off. You need a 3/8 breaker bar, a 16mm socket, and a torque wrench in order to perform the work. So here's the stock belt tensioner. You can see it plays a pretty big part in how the belt's going to run. It keeps constant tension on the belt, and it's spring loaded. And you can see a tab right here on the top. When you go to loosen it, you'll hook your 3/8 breaker bar into that square hole down there, and then you'll push the tensioner over and it takes the slack off the belt, and you can slip it off the supercharger pulley or your stock alternator or wherever to get the belt off. And then it's just one bolt to take out, 16mm, and then the tensioner will just come right off. So now we've got our breaker bar connected. We just push to the right. It takes the tension off. And then you want to gently let the tensioner come back to its stopping position. And now the belt is loose. We'll take out our breaker bar. And next we'll just remove the 16mm nut. Here are the two tensioner pulleys side by side. This is the stock one. This is the Upgrade Dayco unit. And I saw Mike's at Challenger Fest and it had broken. And I think the issue is that there's a rod in here that's kind of goes around, that's the spring mechanism. And when it gets under a lot of pressure, it can break the aluminum housing. I think that's aluminum, it feels like it anyway. On the Dayco unit, it's a coiled piece of steel. It's a wider band that kind of goes all the way around, and it ends outside of the unit, so all the stress is in that reinforced area. So I haven't heard of the Dayco's breaking. Like I say, Mike and John told me about the issue, and I'm glad they did. It's a $40 part on Amazon and about 10 minutes to replace it. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. Okay, you want to start by wiping off the mounting surface where the pulley is going to connect. Especially if you have an older car, make sure that mounting surface is nice and clean. And then you'll notice the pulley itself has a tab on the back, and that plugs into a hole on the mount point. I put just a drop of blue Loctite on the bolt. The manual doesn't say that's required, but it's a little bit of extra insurance. I don't want this bolt to ever come loose. And you just set it in place. Put your bolt in. Just snug it with your 16mm socket, and then you want to torque this bolt to 40 foot-pounds. Then just use your breaker bar and put your belt back on. And be real careful with the belt. Make sure that it is over all the pulleys like it's supposed to be. It's a little bit hard to see, but you want it lined up in the grooves just right. And straight. Once you have the belt back on, you want to double check all the routing. Make sure the grooves are exactly lined up like I was saying, because the belt will walk off if it's even off just a hair. So you want it exactly right. check every pulley. And this one looks good. Now we're going to fire up the car and make sure everything's good. So after you've run the car for a minute or two, go back and double check your belt alignment on all the pulleys, make sure they're still good to go. This is an easy and cheap upgrade. Like I said, I got that pulley from Amazon, but any good auto parts store should have them in stock. So then I put the original tensioner back in the trunk with a spare belt just in case I ever need it. That's it. You can find more Challenger information on my website, www.speedysgarage.net.